Imagine the original opening frame for Avengers 5. Kang the Conqueror, the variant supposedly killed in the quantum realm, is falling backward through an infinite, pitch-black void. Before Marvel officially shifted the franchise toward Doctor Doom, an early leaked script for the Kang Dynasty served as a high-casualty blueprint for the future of the MCU. Kang is trapped in the Beyond Zone, a place where reality has no threads to hold on to. He hallucinates his past failures, hearing the screams of the worlds he destroyed and seeing the projection of a daughter he failed to save. This draft breaks the character down to a helpless, weeping man. It strips away the title of Conqueror to explore what happens when a multiversal villain has nothing left to lose. While one Kang falls, the Council of Kangs is rising. From a massive, dimly lit citadel, thousands of variants follow three specific leaders: Immortus, Ramatut, and the Scarlet Centurion. They prepare for war through a grim ritual, drinking the blood of crucified mutants, including variants of Magneto and Wolverine, to fuse that genetic power into their own bodies. The Council's plan for dominance centers on Earth 616. Their sensors have identified two specific targets: Shang-Chi's 10 rings and Kamala Khan's negabands. These artifacts are actually ancient relics that transmit signals across the multiverse. The Kangs need them as beacons to lock down and control every existing reality at once. While the Avengers are busy with their own individual lives, a storm of multiversal conquerors is already entering their atmosphere. The invasion begins when the sky turns a sickly green. Massive, ring-shaped ships descend over every major city on Earth simultaneously. The destruction is immediate. Global monuments are leveled, and the script describes a staggering loss of life as the Council's forces begin a systematic purge of the planet. Major heroes fall in the opening minutes. The entire Pym family is consumed by the destruction, and Peter Parker watches as his loved ones are caught in the crossfire. Sam Wilson steps into the role of commander. He rallies the remaining broken survivors in Wakanda to coordinate a final, desperate stand. Sam splits the heroes into three groups: a space assault team to hit Immortus, a ground force to storm the Kang's fortress, and a distraction team to draw their fire. This plan asks the survivors to fight three separate wars at once. Without a way to communicate across these different fronts, each team is effectively operating on a suicide mission. The space assault ends in a bloodbath. Immortus intercepts the ship and executes Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot before they can even deploy their weapons. On the ground, the siege is a brutal melee. Moon Knight faces off against Ramatut in a gritty, close-quarters fight that leaves the hero crushed under the weight of the Kang variant's tech. The ground war reaches its lowest point when Miles Morales sacrifices himself to pull Peter Parker out of Ramatut's reach. Even the distraction team fails. The Scarlet Centurion betrays his own council, trapping Doctor Strange and Shang-Chi in the quantum realm so he can hunt the artifacts for himself. But the betrayal goes both ways. Immortus executes the Scarlet Centurion for his greed, proving that the Kangs are just as dangerous to each other as they are to the Avengers. Immortus successfully secures the negabands, fusing them into his armor to gain absolute control over the energy of the multiverse. The Avengers are routed. They didn't just lose a battle. They were systematically picked apart by a force with infinite reinforcements and superior organization. As Immortus stands victorious, we return to the original Kang in the Beyond Zone. He has watched his variants win, and he is ready to give up, but his surrender triggers the engine core. A massive probability storm erupts, surrounding him in a chaotic, fiery energy aura. Kang stops fighting his clones and begins absorbing them. He pulls every version of himself and all their multiversal power directly into his own body. He emerges as Beyonder Kang. He is a godlike entity fueled by the grief of his lost family and a singular desire for vengeance against the council that exiled him. Immortus wants to rule the multiverse, Beyonder Kang just wants to burn it down. The climax takes place at Yggdrasil, where Loki is struggling to hold the burning timelines together with his bare hands. Immortus arrives to siphon Loki's power, but Beyonder Kang intercepts him, dropping into the center of the multiverse to reclaim his throne. Beyonder Kang takes the 10 rings from a fallen Shang-Chi and uses them to bind Immortus. He uses the power of the rings and Loki's essence to literally pull the council leader apart. The council is gone, but the multiverse is already collapsing. The threads of reality are burning away, and they cannot be saved. Beyonder Kang makes a final choice. Since he cannot save the timelines, he uses his power to stitch the remaining fragments of different worlds together into one final planet. This is Battleworld. It is a stitched-together reality where the Statue of Liberty stands isolated in a thick alien fog. The landscape is a mess of fused history. Stark Tower is merged with the vintage architecture of the Empire State Building, while the X-Mansion sits in the middle of a futuristic wasteland. The script ends with Beyonder Kang standing in a field of roses on this new world. He is finally reunited with Ravonna, his lost love. Marvel eventually moved on from this 170-page draft, pivoting the franchise toward a new path with Doctor Doom. But these pages survive as a record of a high-casualty apocalyptic war that almost redefined the Avengers.